With Easter coming, I am so excited to make my favorite cutout cookie in all of the fun Easter shapes. Cutout cookies are such a great way to enjoy the holidays. You can give them away as gifts or use them in your holiday party. Kids love them, and these are so good that adults are going to gobble them up all the same. To start, place 1 cup of room temperature butter and 2 ounces of room temperature cream cheese directly into the bowl of your electric mixer. Beat the butter and cream cheese on a medium-high speed until light and fluffy and well incorporated into each other. That's why it's best to have them at room temperature. Once they are light and fluffy, add 1 cup of granulated white sugar. Beat until well incorporated. Add 1 large egg. It's always a smart idea, although I don't always do it, to crack your egg into a smaller bowl before adding it to the mixer, just in case you get any shells into it. Next, you want to zest 1 orange. I love using orange zest and the flavors of orange in cooking, especially in these cookies. It's a little bit different, but it is so good. You can leave it out if you don't like orange, or you can add another fruit you like lemon or lime. Add the orange zest, and then cut the orange and add the juice of half of the orange. I love these hand juicers. Next, add 1/2 teaspoon of pure almond extract. Never use imitation flavors when you're baking. They can sometimes have a bitter taste and they just aren't quite right. If you don't like almond, of course leave this out, but it really enhances the flavors. And 1 teaspoon of vanilla. Mix well to incorporate all the flavors. Next, we can add our dry ingredients. It's 3 cups of flour, and 1/2 teaspoons of baking powder. Make sure your baking powder is always fresh and not outdated, as it can really affect the outcome of the cookie or anything that you're baking. And add just 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Salt enhances any baked good. Make sure after you add the dry ingredients that you turn the mixer on low to start with so you don't get flour flying everywhere. I'm sure we've all had that happen, and once it happens, you never want it to again. Beat until all the ingredients are homogeneous and well combined. Then turn your dough out into plastic wrap. I like to separate my dough into 2 discs or 2 rounds here, just so when I go to roll it out, it's a little bit easier. Flatten it out and wrap it tightly with plastic wrap and place it in your fridge for about 30 minutes to an hour just to firm up. Once your dough is well chilled, we'll turn it out onto a lightly floured surface and roll it out to about 1/4 to 1/2 inch thick, depending how thick you like your cookies. I like them a little on the thicker side, so I'll probably go a little closer to 1/2 inch. Lightly flour the surface and roll it out, always moving your rolling pin. I like to go from the middle of the dough out. Once you have your desired thickness, you can just start cutting your shapes. I love using this egg-shaped one, and I have some different bunny options too. You don't have to have Easter cookie cutters, but they do make it all the more fun, especially if you're doing this with kids. I love to make cutout cookies with my nieces, and this is one of their favorite recipes. If you want to make your own little egg-shaped cookie cutter, you can of course use a tin can from your pantry. Just empty it out, of course, and cut off both sides of it, and then just gently push it and shape it into an egg. That will give you kind of a homemade egg-shaped cookie cutter if you don't have one. Place these on parchment-lined baking sheets or on silicone-lined baking sheets like I'm doing, and place them in a 350-degree oven for 10 to 12 minutes. Of course, the thickness and shape of your cookies is going to determine the amount of time they can take, so make sure to watch them carefully. You don't want them to brown, but just lightly turn golden around some of the edges. Once they're done baking, Take them out and let them cool on the pans for about 3 minutes before you let them cool completely on a rack. You never want to frost a cookie when it's warm, or the frosting will just melt off. Check out the icing recipe that I'm posting along with these cookies. I love to use a light icing in a lot of pastel colors for Easter. It's a simple icing made with dry egg whites that you can find at any grocery store. And I'm decorating them with these fine tip bottles. You don't have to go to all this work, and you can use any frosting you like, but I think it's extra fun to make these an occasion at Easter. As you can see, these cookies are super easy to roll out and go together in a cinch. Decorate them however you want it, with your favorite frosting or my royal icing. You can outline them, zigzag them, have all the fun you want with your kids and family. They are so fun and such a great spring Easter treat. I hope you enjoy these wonderful cutout cookies.